it's Joel, and welcome back to the Joel Homie Show vlog series. Summer to remember, this is day 2, and let's start off today right by getting dressed with some good old video editing magic. There we go, that's a lot better. And now, time for something that I've never actually done before, the hat. It actually worked. Time for some breakfast. Beginning the day right with cream cheese and toast. Right then, so the day started. Today we are heading out to Zion National Park, and with a much better camera now with the iPhone 11 instead of my iPhone 5. I have a much better camera for filming, and there's some amazing sights to see here, so hopefully I can get some good footage. Let's go ahead and get on the road. So we just arrived in Gafton, Utah. This is a very, very old town from, if I'm not mistaken, around the 1800s. There's, as you can see behind me, there's like a schoolhouse, a couple old houses that we walked around and sort of took a look at. It's really interesting to see how older buildings of this architecture and style were built back then. It's very, very interesting, as today we're used to having houses that are like sealed and have all this technology and speakers in the walls and fancy stuff like that. But no, these are just bricks, a little bit of clay here and there, wood, nails, the simple stuff you had back then, with things like gaps in the roofs and all the perfections of not being perfect. I'm going to go ahead and walk around and show you guys a bit of this stuff, because I find a lot of stuff like this little thing behind me. I don't actually know what it is, but I find stuff like this very, very interesting. And then over here, there's an old tractor. It's a very, very iconic front end right there. And then over here, you can see this one has a blown out tire, obviously, but nonetheless, it's very, very interesting to see old stuff like this, as I had mentioned earlier, but especially stuff like this that's actually intact and sitting here. It's very, very interesting. And then this is one of my favorite parts. It's a tailgate to an old Ford pickup. Found that really, really interesting. But either way, we're going to head out now, and I'm going to take some pictures with the 10 in front of stuff like this, and let alone just take some pictures of all this old machinery, because, as I said, I find all of this very, very entertaining and interesting. Time for an on-the-road turkey sandwich. Right then, so we are now done strolling around Zion National Park for the day. So at this point, my grandmother and I are going to hit up an antique store. I'll go and show you guys what we find in there. Oh, 57 Chevy. Oh, look at that. Ever since our last vacation, I've been thinking of this very spot. Such a cool little place. Even got some old matchbox. Old lanterns. Oh, I believe this is a brass oil gun. The trigger. Maybe I should get my friends a couple of things. I don't know if Deegan would like quite a couple of things sitting here. Maybe some old Lego sets if they have any. Right then, so we are back from the antique store, and I got quite a couple interesting little things, or actually one of them isn't so little. So I have this box here that they were kind enough to put everything in, and I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that I got now that we're back and I can open it safely without breaking anything. So the first couple of things that I got are inside this blue little bag. First thing I got was just a older Hot Wheel. So this is just a model that I found pretty interesting. It actually recycles the old Redline wheels that Hot Wheels used really early on. These are of course black wheels, but similar style. This one was $2. And then I'd gotten a couple other slightly more expensive models, like this is a old Buick, which if I can go ahead and actually open this, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Here is the model itself. It is a 1912 Buick. This is a Ertl model, which I don't actually believe I've ever had any Ertl stuff. But either way, there is a old 1912 Buick. And then I ended up getting one of those other models. This one was once again $6 like the Buick. And this one was just a little black tanker. It says as standard, the gasoline of quality on the side. As you can see there, got some gold wheels, and then the rest of it is just black. And then it says Standard Oil Company, or, well, CO is an abbreviation for company. And on the bottom, this is made in England. This is a chevron. That's interesting, as you can kind of see on there on the bottom. But either way, once again, both of those were $6, totaling for $13 so far, including the Hot Wheel. I got a little switchblade, or actually rather a little tiny knife for $3. This is just a little itsy bitsy one, which is a lot smaller than the one that I usually carry on me, which is a lot bigger. And they have one similarity. These are both manufactured in China. But either way, setting that to the side, the way that you sort of put this away is you just press down on the back, and then the blade will actually flip in, as you can see there. And with that, now that I have this open, you can get a good look at the little model itself. So it's a tiny little model locomotive set on top of this little spike, and this was $9. And I do believe this is a really nice display piece. I thought it was really interesting. I have something similar to this at my father's house, only except it's a full-size, sort of like American Railroad tie with a larger model placed on top of it. But either way, you've got a tiny little steam locomotive and the tender there. And then the last thing that I ended up getting was actually a lot larger and is wrapped in paper. So a lot of this is basically just sort of like a glass lampshade for, like, imagine you have a light bulb on your ceiling and a bolt that comes down, and then you'd have like a big upside down glass bowl that would bolt to the top and, well, then becomes the new light in a way. And I'll explain it more with the thing that I got. So for those of you that don't know, I am a decently large Coca-Cola fan in the way of the sort of Coca-Cola merchandise. So what I meant by that is, you can imagine that here's your ceiling, here's a light bulb, and then you would actually end up bolting this Coca-Cola thing to the ceiling, and that would become your new light. And as you can see, it says Coca-Cola on all three sides. And I ended up getting this for $5. It was originally $32, and I got it for $5. I'd say that was quite a steal. Anyway, so there is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that I ended up getting at the antique store. I'm going to go ahead and head into the trailer, get a drink, and maybe a little bit of food and cool off. And with that being said, there is day 2 of the Joel and Michelle vlog series, Summer to Remember. And once again, just to mention, I will once again be posting daily vlogs of this vacation for about the next 2 weeks. And if you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it,